Good morning, everyone. How are you? Welcome to the PreStream podcast. A brand new week has begun. Today is my first day back from break. Today, incidentally, is a Wednesday. Whoa. What the heck? YouTube has redesigned the viewer activity bar. First chance that I would have to see it because I was off yesterday. Yeah. Shout out to Only Iced Coffee, who just re-upped his membership for 13 months and says feels birthday man because I guess it is his 13-month anniversary being a member here on the channel. And first of all, congratulations, you earned your Regal Chat Crown badge. And I just, I have a million screens open with me when I stream. And I'm looking here to my left, and usually I have this big queue of information that gathers here while I'm streaming. And in this case, what's happened is it looks different today. They redesigned the way it looks. Yeah, this is so weird. They must have pushed an update through on my day off. So I guess I have to get used to it looking different. I wonder how, because the membership looks completely different. I wonder how Super Chats look and everything. Yeah. Huh. Interesting. Anyway, thank you, Only Iced Coffee, for re-upping your membership, and congratulations on earning your Regal Chat Crown. What the heck? Also, might as well shout out Corrupted Covenant for also re-upping his membership for 9 months. Thank you guys for your channel support. All right, so anyway, got distracted immediately. First words out of my mouth on the podcast, I got immediately distracted. I was like, huh? So anyway, ladies and gents, how are you all doing? I hope you're doing well. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the PreStream. What's a PreStream? The PreStream podcast for Wednesday, May 25th, 2022. Today is the first day of a full streaming week, and it is a jam-packed week full of fun and variety, although admittedly a lot of the stuff I'm doing is more throwback old school stuff. There are 2 new games that will be in the mix as test runs to see if there's something that we'd be interested in doing more longer term. Both games are under Game Pass, so there's really no risk involved in trying them out. We're going to talk about that here today on the PreStream, okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. How are you doing? I hope you had a good day yesterday, Tuesday, all right? Although it's, I mean, I would be pretty much at this point, I'd be like acting like a caveman, obviously, if I didn't address what's going on in the United States of America right now. And by the way, I'm not a political guy. I don't talk politics on my streams that much or ever, if I can avoid it. I'm of the opinion that politics are a dividing factor in America where it seems like you have to be polarized on one side or the other. And if you're not, everyone basically hates you. Because, oh, God forbid you have an opinion on one political side of the spectrum or the other. You better be on one side. If not, to go to hell. And on top of that, if you're on one side, everyone on the other side hates your guts. So it's just like this big fueled thing where everyone hates each other. And I don't know how it became that way, but man, it's been bad in the last several years here in America, at least, okay? So many of you may be feeling like I'm going to do a giant story here on the mass shooting that took place in Texas at an elementary school. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to publicize that. I'm not going to attempt to make a whole story and monetize that. All I'm going to say is I feel horrible it happened again. It's only the several hundredth time this has seriously happened in the last many years here in America. And I'm just going to reiterate what I said previously in my content. I really feel that our government is inept. Our government does not take action on these things, does not do anything whatsoever to try to fix them. If you have ever seen an example of that, it would have been COVID, when during a 2-year period, hundreds of thousands of people died in the United States, and the government was completely inept at tackling it or doing anything effective to stop it. It was just a joke at that point. They felt like writing you 2 small checks and sending that in the mail and pushing for vaccines to be out there was somehow going to save everyone in America. It did not. Our government sucks at this, and they cannot come to any consensus on how to basically fix the big problems that we face in our country. I don't feel like it's a Republican or Democrat issue. It's a government issue. The government, as it is right now, in my opinion, isn't working effectively. It's kind of a lame duck government where everyone just sits and argues like little kids over in Congress or the House of Representatives, and no one does anything effective to help anyone in this country, despite the fact that we're all paying money towards our government taxes to have things fixed and or taken care of like this. They don't. So that's all I have to say on it. I'm not going to go into any more detail about it. I'm not going to entertain any questions about it. I'm not a political guy. I'm very upset, just like I'm sure many of you, that we keep hearing this kind of news about these mass school shootings and literally nothing ever happens. I'm just disgusted. Okay? What I will do today, okay, what I will attempt to do is try to distract you from that. I know that many of you are incredibly upset at what is happening. I am too. But I can't fix it. I can't help it. All I can do is try to somehow take your mind off of it with what we do today. You know what I'm saying? And I think that that's a good thing that people say that I'm good at, that I can take you into this world of content with entertaining games and commentary and fun interactions where we can all get our minds off of the crazy shit going on around us in real life. Same thing with COVID, right? The whole year, the whole world was falling apart, and people told me that they really enjoyed being on my streams because it was kind of a way to disengage and disassociate with that drama and that nasty stuff that was going on. I hope I can do that for you guys. That's the best I can do. I wish I could do better. I'm not a politician. I'm not a guru. I don't have any answers for you. I'm not going to stand here on a soapbox and scream for hours today about this and act like I know any better than anybody else. All I know is that, I'm fed up, and I just don't want to think about it today either. Because, I wish there was something better we could do, but there's not at this point. Okay. So, ladies and gents, let's talk about my streams, my content, what I can do to take your mind off of this shit. All right? And again, I apologize. I know some people want me to address it. I'm just not going there. Maybe someday, as I've told you guys, in the future. All right? In the future, there's a possibility that I may diversify my content and talk about shit like this. I'm not doing that today, okay? I'm just not. I'm not anyone who's going to be able to add anything to this conversation, at least in my opinion, all right? All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, what's going on in the realm of me and my content and everything happening around here? First of all, I came to a determination during my day off yesterday that WWE 2K22 will continue for now. Let's just reiterate some of the stuff going on with WWE 2K22. Ever since I started playing this game 2 weeks ago, there's been nonstop problems. I'll be very honest with all of you. I'm very glad I waited to play it. I feel like if I was playing this game along with Elden Ring and other important games, the potential for risk was too high with all the content ID issues and things I'm having with the playthrough. Imagine if I started getting slammed on DSPGaming with all these issues when I'm playing other insanely popular playthroughs and something happens and now it's like, damn, now the other playthroughs are affected, right? At least in this case, we are in downtime right now. We are. There is not much going on in the realm of games and game releases. I've beaten all the high-profile games from back in February, March, April. We're in a situation now where we're about to head into June, and there's really still nothing going on too significant until, say, mid-June and then late June. Then there's a bunch of new releases to cover. Right now, it's pretty dead, right? So, at least if there is risk that some bullshit happens to DSP Gaming, not to say that I think that there will be, I hope that there won't be, and I knock on wood when I say that, not that I'm superstitious, but let's be honest, yeah, I need DSP Gaming to be working, it's my business, right? But if anything were to happen right now, I have backup plans. I have other things we can do in the meantime until I get the issues cleared up. And that's a good thing. And it won't negatively affect any other ongoing projects or playthroughs because there's no other big ones going on right now. Okay? So, all that in consideration. What's been going on with WWE 2K22? Since I started playing the game, it's been a nightmare. The first stream I turned on and tried to play the showcase mode got shut down on YouTube for copyright infringement. Even though I had it on the creator mode enabled, and I wasn't actually doing that, YouTube thinks I was. Okay? So I quit out on the showcase mode and started doing the My Rise mode, which essentially is their version of a career mode. You used to call it like My Career in previous games, but now they've changed it. Okay? But yeah, it's basically different now. because they've added in new variations and things on the mode, which is good. It's always good to refresh stuff. But even that I'm having insane amounts of problems with. Seriously. Non-stop content ID matches. First I get a match stating that I ripped off someone else's Let's Play of the game, which obviously I didn't, and I countered and disputed that one. Then I get claims from WWE themselves claiming that I'm rebroadcasting the actual show SmackDown when I'm not. I'm playing the video game, but because there's content in the video game essentially simulating the show SmackDown, YouTube's algorithm is so stupid it actually thinks that I am rebroadcasting SmackDown. So those videos get claimed and partially blocked worldwide, and it's like, you know, is it really worth the trouble? I'm just not having this trouble with anything else I'm doing, you know? So here's the deal. I told you guys on Monday I would think about what I wanted to do, and I got a bunch of feedback from various parties. On the one side were people who were really enjoying the WWE 2K22 My Rise playthrough, notably fans of pro wrestling and or fans of my previous playthroughs of WWE games in years past when this was never an issue. I never had these kind of crazy issues playing a WWE game. This is something new entirely. All right. So people contacted me and saying, Phil, please continue. You're already, you know, what was it, 13 hours in, I want to say? I am. I'm exactly 13 hours into the playthrough. I've made it to SmackDown. They're enjoying the plot lines on SmackDown. And they want to see me keep going. Right now, I've switched from a heel to a face. So now I'm going to have all new plot lines today, face-related. If you don't know, heel and face basically means a villain or like a goody two-shoes hero character. So right now, I've switched from being a villain to a hero-style character, and now the crowd's going to root for me again. Okay? Hold on one second, because I want to open my window. The landscapers are here today, but they walked away, and I need to have fresh air in here. But if they come back, I got to close it again because of my allergies. Okay? Okay. So, anyway, I'm having fun with the playthrough. The one complaint I really have about the playthrough is it was getting too easy. Like at first it was challenging, but now as my stats of my character are leveling up over the course of the mode, I'm too powerful for most of my opponents, and most of them were going down so quickly that I upped the difficulty to hard. So what happened? Is the game harder now? Not really. What happens is they just kick out of everything. So you hit them with a finisher, they kick out. You hit them with a submission, they get out. It's like, what the? That's the only difference. It's not like the game's any harder or the challenge is upped. It's just they escape everything. But anyway, people have said since I upped the difficulty to hard, that the match outcomes are a lot more interesting. So I'll just leave it on that for now. Okay? So anyway, that's one party. But, you know, half of the people are like, man, Phil, please keep playing WWE. We really enjoyed the playthrough. We're fans of pro wrestling. We like seeing it enjoying pro wrestling again. Please keep doing it. The other half is of the opinion we just don't like pro wrestling. And therefore, we don't care if you dump the game or not. And if you dump it, here's what we want you to play. Now, here's the problem with that, is that, yes, up until that point, the first half of that statement, I actually heard from a lot of people. But then the second half of the statement, where they actually say, this is the game you should play, has been completely and utterly different. I haven't gotten anyone agreeing what game I should replace WWE with, okay? And the problem with that is essentially that you're in a situation where I can please some of the people, but not everyone. I know that no matter what game that I would play to replace WWE would not be a game that everyone wants to see. When I'm being pulled in a million directions, Phil, please play Hollow Knight. Phil, please play one of the Game Pass games you've already started and never finished. Phil, please play Devil May Cry 2. Phil, please play an RPG. Phil, play another retro game. Phil. And it's like, ugh. You hear all these voices, the cacophony of voices from all these different directions coming in. And it really does get to a point where, like, you kind of get scatterbrained because you're hearing a million suggestions, but none of them are common suggestions. There really wasn't. After 2 days of me asking, there wasn't a common thread where people were like, yeah, that's definitely sounds like a good idea for the game you should be playing instead of WWE. Instead, it was just everyone wants something completely different. Okay? And when that's the case, sadly, I hate to say it, I can't really make a informed decision. Instead, it would kind of be like, no matter what I play, some people will be happy and most will be disappointed. So what do I do? Okay? So I thought about it over my day off, and I said, here's what we're going to do, all right? We're going to continue on, and I'm going to continue to play WWE 2K22. Here's the reasoning why. Number one, we have a good time on stream when I play these games. We're joking around. We started naming the special moves. Right now, I call it the IP ban bomb, and what do we call it? The the Reddit live stream fails muscle buster. You know, we're being stupid about it, obviously. It's not anything to be taken seriously. It's just kind of messing around. But it's fun, you know, making memes in the names of the moves compared to my content and what's going on right now in my content and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's been fun. I'm having a great time on the streams. You guys are too. I know you are because we're interacting. We're having a good time with conversation. You guys are contributing to everything with suggestions and funny things and everything that's going on, right? And, I mean, I'll be honest with you, the streams are doing well as well when it comes to support and the like. People seem to like the playthrough and want it to continue, and they're supporting those streams, right? Now, the trade-off here is that chances are, as I continue on with this playthrough, it's just going to have more and more issues on demand on YouTube. Already, part 10 is blocked, and you guys, here come the landscapers. Part 10 of the playthrough is already blocked. You guys can't even see it. I take that back. Is it blocked worldwide? It is, right? Yes. Unless it cleared up, which I don't think it did. Let me just double check that. I'm just curious because remember, I disputed the claim, but I haven't checked on it in several days. I guarantee you it's still blocked. No, it's public. Oh, cool. Well, the good news here is part 10 of the playthrough is not live. If you didn't see it, this was the part where I had a fun plotline with Johnny Gargano, and then I finished NXT and I moved on to SmackDown. It's live. During my day off, the claim got removed. If you don't know, there was an erroneous claim from that company claiming that the person under contract with them, I stole their Let's Play, and they were claiming my video. So at least in that regard, you can watch the playthrough in its entirety as long as you don't live in like Sri Lanka or India where like parts, I believe it's like parts 12 and 13 got blocked. Listen, all I'm going to do is this. I'm going to keep streaming it. I'm going to have fun with you guys. I'm going to do my best to keep putting out a fun playthrough and hope for the best. I can't promise you that it will continue to work, nor can I promise you that videos won't get blocked or have issues. I'll try to clear them up as much as I can, all right? What I will tell you is this. Likely, many of these videos are going to end up getting claimed or have issues. So if you like this playthrough, please support the streams if you can, okay? Because that's going to be where I'm going to get any kind of income from this playthrough. And or if you are watching the videos on demand, if you can support in another means, I would appreciate that. For example, becoming a channel member or checking the description of one of the videos of WWE and clicking on that tips link and sending me a tip. If the video is claimed, you can't leave a super thanks. So there may be some cases where you're watching a video and like, oh, I really like this video. Let me leave a super thanks to support the channel. Then you can. But if it's not there, it means that video was claimed and you can't even do it because someone else owns it. Okay? So here's the thing. I'll continue to play WWE. I'll continue to take the risk. Right now, the risk hasn't gotten so bad that I've gotten a copyright strike or anything like that. And that hopefully it'll just be at the extent of a content ID claim or sadly getting a video blocked, which obviously I don't want to happen. But I can't really help that if it does. All right? But I need your buy-in. For those of you who are watching WWE and enjoying the playthrough, please support it because no one knows what's going to happen with this playthrough at this point. I'm on SmackDown. After SmackDown, there's Monday Night Raw. And then essentially that's kind of the end. But I'm only about halfway through SmackDown because we have all the face plot lines to do. And then we're going to probably try to be the champion. And then we probably go to Raw and you do the same thing on Raw. So obviously I want to experience all that content from what people are telling me. It could be upwards of anywhere from 20 to 30 hours. And right now we're 13 hours in. So we're talking, I'm about halfway through, maybe. Maybe I end up playing this for another 2 weeks. It could be, okay? This could be a game that takes us all the way to the new releases in June, which would probably be great. But again, I need your support. If I'm playing this on stream and we're not getting any support on the stream, and then on the back end, the videos are all claimed on YouTube and I'm not making any ads on YouTube, obviously it's a dead project, right? Like, what am I going to do? I want to keep playing the game. I'm enjoying it. And yes, This is my hobby as well as my job, so it's about me enjoying what I'm doing too. If I was hating the game, I also wouldn't want to continue it. But I got to make it all work together. You see what I'm saying? So I hope that makes sense, and please consider supporting the playthrough live on stream. That's where it's really going to be important moving forward, since we have no idea what's going to happen with those on-demand videos on YouTube, okay? If anything happens, I will obviously let you guys know. I will notify you and say, hey, this video got claimed, this video is down, this is happening, that's happening. So at least you understand it, okay? Thank you. All right, so after making this determination, here is the schedule for this week. All right, today it's WWE 2K22 on the first stream, continuing on with SmackDown and trying to do face plot lines, meaning good guy plot lines. Okay? Tonight, the late stream is the continuation of Uncharted 2 Among Thieves. I started this playthrough a few days ago, and so far, reception is positive. People are liking the fact I'm playing this game for the first time in 13 years. I don't remember a lot of what's going on in it. I'm already failing. Already I'm sucking at this game. People are laughing at how funny it is that I'm sucking at it. It was a good time the other night. And again, what I'll say is I'm really enjoying playing these retro games. I'm now alternating on late streams between Uncharted 2 and Legend of Zelda Link to the Past. But please support those streams and playthroughs. And the reason I say that is these are old games. They're not going to bring in giant mainstream audiences. I need support on those streams. So please, if you can, support them if you can. And again, if you're watching those playthroughs on demand on YouTube, consider supporting it whatever way you can, okay? Tomorrow, we're doing something different because tomorrow is the release date of Sniper Elite 5 on Game Pass. So I'm going to get it overnight. I already have it set up, but tonight I'll hook up my Xbox and I'll make sure that it's set up to download. And tomorrow's main stream will be Sniper Elite 5. We'll give it a shot. Now, here's the thing. I'm not expecting that much from Sniper Elite 5. Why not? Well, I played Sniper Elite 4 in late 2021, and then again, I did a major stream of it in January 2022. It just didn't really work. What I mean by that is the game is primarily stealth. Is there sniping? Yes, but it's mostly stealth. If you're playing it as a run-and-gun shooter, you're failing. You're doing it wrong because you're very much outmatched 90% of the time. You're supposed to be doing stealth and sneaking up and sneaky ways to kill people with the sniper rifle. So when I tried to play it, people didn't like it. That one stream I did, people got bored and were basically complaining the whole time saying, man, this game isn't that good. Don't play it again. So I never did. I never went back to it. After that, you know, I think it was like 4 or 5 hours of gameplay that I played of the game. I never went back to continue it. If this is the direct sequel and it follows the same vein, then what's the difference? Honestly, there probably won't be one. But here's the thing. It's Game Pass. There's literally no risk for me to play a stream of it and investigate and see if it's any good. Maybe it is better than Sniper Elite 4. Maybe you guys will like it, right? Swaggin says, actually, Sniper Elite 5 seems a little more action-oriented. Now even the pistol has slow-mo x-ray shots. So I guess we'll see. Let's give it a shot tomorrow. Let's try it. Let's see if it's any good. And go from there. If it's good, I have no problem doing this as a main playthrough. In fact, right now, what am I doing as my main playthroughs? Skyrim and WWE. Obviously, Skyrim is an ongoing chill playthrough. It does not have to be a mainstream game. We could have Sniper Elite instead. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. Okay? Tomorrow night, the continuation of The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. Then on Friday, we'll do a major stream of Skyrim. And we'll pair that with Old School Street Fighter. Only 3 sessions left of Old School Street Fighter. After these next 3 sessions, we move on from the 30th Anniversary Collection, and we can actually play the new game in late June. I'm very excited for this. 3 left to go. Okay? Then on Saturday, we're likely doing more WWE as the mainstream. In the late stream on Saturday, we're doing something else completely different. I'm going to check out a new game called Pac-Man Museum Plus. It actually comes out on Friday on Game Pass, but I do Street Fighter every Friday night, so we're going to wait till Saturday. This is supposedly a collection of classic Pac-Man games with modernized graphics and other twists and things to basically make it different. I guess if you play this game, you're kind of, like they say, museum, right? So it's kind of like you're going through the history of Pac-Man and seeing the changes the franchise had over time, but at the same time, there's other content as well. I don't think this is a game that's good for ongoing streaming, but as a one-off night stream just to see what it is, and hey, Pac-Man. I know Pac-Man. I had Pac-Man in arcades when I was growing up. It'd be pretty cool to at least see the history of it and see if there's any new games and things they threw into this collection. So one stream makes sense. So we're going to check that out. on Saturday night, okay? Sunday and Monday, I don't want to promise you guys anything yet because I don't know what's coming up. It depends. Do we like Sniper Elite? Do I want to have that in the rotation or not? You know, we'll make a determination once we get further into the week, okay? So, that's pretty much, that is the streaming week for me, all right? And I want to give you guys a couple other updates in regards to certain things going on the channel before we get into anything else. I actually have several news stories to cover today. First of all, you may have noticed the members number. It goes up and down now, and this is what used to happen on Twitch as well. As people renew memberships or become a new member or a membership lapses or someone drops a membership bomb on the channel, this number fluctuates greatly. The highest we've ever had is 527. We had that on Monday when I basically signed off from my Zelda stream. Then I took a day off, and a bunch of memberships lapsed, and people didn't renew them, and now we're at 518. That might have gone up this morning because 2 people looks like they renewed their memberships here. But the highest we've ever had was 527. Okay? Cool. It would be great to try to get it higher, obviously. If we hit 550, that's when we unlock a new emote slot, and I've already told you guys if we hit 550, that is when I'm going to put in the Sonic Fill emote. I have absolutely no idea how I forgot about this emote because it's actually one of the silliest ones, me with the Sonic hat on, from many years ago. And it just completely slipped my mind that I had the emote. By the way, the landscapers are gone again. Should I open the window? This is going to be a running theme. The problem is, the sun is in full force today outside, and when the sun is in full force, my office heats up like an oven. And as of right now, they're basically saying it's going to be sun all afternoon. So if I don't have the window open, I'm going to be cooking in here. And obviously, I don't want to be cooking in here. And by the way, I should say this as well. Within probably the next week, I am going to have to install my air conditioner. And the reason being, at least from what they're saying now for the weather, starting next Tuesday-ish, we're going to have ongoing 70-plus degree weather outside. And although that's not very hot, outside, inside, this room cooks like an oven, turns about 90 degrees. I don't think I want to sit here in 90-degree temperatures trying to play video games. So probably what's going to happen is, over the course of this next week, I got to install my AC, in which case I'll probably install the other ACs, and we're going to have air conditioning in here every day moving forward. You don't have to see me get up, sit down, get up, sit down, because I'm messing with the window anymore, okay? Now, back to the subject at hand. So, memberships. We were at an all-time high on Monday. Yes, we dipped some on my day off. That's fine. Gifted memberships are fully in effect. They are working. If you would like to gift a membership to the channel, thanks in advance. And I'm sure people will be very appreciative. If you're someone who is looking to get a gifted membership, be sure to opt in. You might ask me, what's the process? I have no idea. We only had gifted memberships for a week, and we're just trying to learn on the fly here how they work. I really still don't fully understand how the hell they work. But apparently you do have to opt in order to receive one. Be sure you do, because we had an instance here where one night someone tried to gift a bunch of memberships and they were declined, and we think it's because there weren't enough people to accept them, opted in. Did you hear that? Oh no. I'm gonna have to close the window soon. Anyway, thank you to anyone who becomes a member, to anyone who gives a membership. It's excellent support of the channel. I really appreciate that. It's long-term support, okay? All right. I have a major update for all of you, and I think you guys will like this major update, okay? Last week, I announced the tentative date for my next DSP Reacts event. And I announced that the date, I believe, was Saturday, June 11th. And we will stick to that. So that's 2 weeks from this coming Saturday. All right? And, hold on. That's disgusting. I'm sorry about that. I've decided to change the date. Okay? And there's 2 major reasons why I'm changing the date for the DSP Reacts event. The first reason is that I forgot that there's 2 major releases coming out the day before on June 10th. the two major releases coming out on June 10th, you've got the new Mario Strikers game, okay? And then on top of that, you've got The Quarry, the narrative-based horror game from Supermassive Games, the makers of Until Dawn, and of course recently the Dark Pictures Anthology. With two big games coming out the day before that event, why would I do the event on that day? That would mean I start playing the games and immediately delay playing them, right? That'd be pretty dumb. What I should do is make it so that this event does not negatively affect interesting games, right? So that gives me two options. I can either bump the event a week and do it on June 18th, or I could pull the event back and do it on June 4th, all right? So I hadn't decided yet. I was actually thinking about that. You know, what should I do? What would be the better option? And as I've explained to you guys, the last thing that I want to do is do so many of these DSP Reacts events so quickly that basically it becomes something that's not interesting anymore. It's because it becomes more commonplace rather than a special event. I don't want DSP Reacts to be a commonplace thing that happens every day. All right? I don't. That's why I'm telling you, I want to separate them by weeks at a time to do this. However, I am enjoying diversifying my content. I am enjoying breaking my content up, doing a daily podcast, having a different kind of event that's not just gameplay. This is actually entertaining and fun to me, okay? So, the real factor here in determining should I have it on June 4th or June 18th was time. Because as I've told you guys, I actually started to watch back the John Rambo and Howard video about me from just under, I think it's like 6.5 years ago now or something like that. A video that for many, many years, people always ask me to respond, to give a formal response. Can I address any of the things they say in the video? Are they true? Are they not? What is my take? Because it's one side of the story you get from them, and people have always wanted my side, which I haven't done. Because I basically felt that if I ever addressed the video, or if I ever gave my side of the story, that number one, sadly, it might throw negativity on some of the times that I had with John and Howard. And quite frankly, I like to think back of those times fondly with positivity and not in a negative way, okay? I've always told you guys that the relationship I had with those guys was always positive. I didn't actually know there was major negative stuff going on because it was never expressed to me in a straightforward manner. But we can address that specifically during this React event. That's the purpose of it, okay? That's number one. The other thing is, I just didn't want to bring any drama to those guys. The whole point of the video is basically Phil brought drama to our lives and really annoyed the shit out of us, and we would want that to end. So that's why we're not associating with him anymore. Like, that's one of the major themes of the video, right? So obviously if I respond to the video in any kind of a timely manner, it's going to bring more drama. Keep in mind, 7 years ago was a different time. John was actually doing active content on his channel for several years after that video. As of now, he has, I guess, retired from internet content because there's just nothing new on his channel for years. Same thing with Howard. He's not actively posting up any new content on his channel. So at this point, it's like if I respond to it now, it's 7 years. I think I've waited long enough. You know what I'm saying? 7 years, I think, was enough of a window to separate any kind of bullshit that could have negatively affected these guys by actually addressing the video. All right? But anyway, the real thing about this was I started watching back the video, and I'm like, oh, crap. This video is old. Okay? Immediately within the first, 5 minutes of the video, John Rambo starts bringing up a podcast, which it was Ask the King that I did on Thanksgiving one year. He starts bringing up a skit that he did on his own show several years ago that no one really remembers, and, obviously you need to understand the frame of reference. He starts bringing up all this stuff, and it's like, wait, if we just watch this video, okay, none of this will make any sense, because there's no frame of reference. It's not in context. Basically, the video is bringing up a lot of shit out of context and them giving their take on it, which is fine, but you need the context. Without context, an outsider to the situation has no idea what we're talking about, okay? That's really the reason why I need to do this React video in the way that I'm doing it, is I need to bring context to everything so you can understand it from an objective perspective. I don't want you to see this video or this React project as my perspective or theirs. I want you to see both sides. You can't do that if you don't see the objective stuff they're referencing that's on the internet. So, I've decided to do this a lot differently than previous content. I'm actually going to bring a lot of context to this. When they bring up a situation, they're like, oh, well, Phil said this in a video. I'm going to play that video so that you can see firsthand exactly what was said and you can judge for yourself. That way it's not me saying it, it's not them saying it, it's the actual objective thing, okay? You can't dispute facts that are right there on the internet, indisputable. So I think that in a lot of ways, this will be very damning to me, or sadly, it could be kind of eye-opening to the fact that they said a lot of stuff in the video and maybe it wasn't corroborated, or who knows? We won't know till we do it, right? So anyway, because that's what I want to do with this React project, okay? And I want to really examine it fully. This is going to be the most in-depth project I've ever done. Like, no exaggeration, absolutely positively, this will be the most in-depth thing I think I've ever done on YouTube. Like, this will be a huge analysis, and references being brought in. You know what I'm saying? And by the way, I'm doing it live. This is going to be a live stream. This is not, oh, Phil will record this off camera and edit it. It's going to be live. We're basically going to play their video, and I'm going to do this live. Now, how do you do it? Okay? Well, here's the thing. I thought, man, this is going to take me a very long time. All right? Because I'm going to have to sit here and find all the references and get them all ready to play and everything. Well, guys, I have some good news for you, especially if you're someone who likes this React content and wanted to see this as soon as possible. A fan of mine, a longtime fan and supporter, has essentially helped me. They reached out to me and says, I really want this to go well, so I want to help you. And this person wishes. This person, I can't speak today. This person wishes to remain anonymous, okay? Because they don't want to be caught up in any drama. They don't want to have anyone harassing them on the internet, all right? But they basically, what they did is they watched back the John Rambo and Howard video. And they did some research pulling references. By the way, Only Iced Coffee just gifted 5 memberships to the channel. So, congratulations, but no one has accepted them as of yet, from what I can see. But we have a lot of people without memberships. Some people are saying, how do I opt in? I don't know what to tell you guys. I don't know how the program works. Yeah, it looks like he gifted them, but no one's getting them. Some people are just opting in now. No one got them. Basically, what's happening now is people are opting in now, but they're not getting the memberships. See? Spider D. John says, I opted in, but nothing's happening. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how this works. It seems like it's a broken system. It really does. It seems like it's a broken system. Like, it doesn't make sense. What some people have been telling me is that there's a weird thing with brand accounts. If you have an account that's considered a brand account, you can't get a gifted membership, but no one understands the difference. This is so weird. Stel DeCubo says, for me, there's not even anything to click on to opt in. John says, I opted in, and then my whole app crashed. Derek says, when the pop-up shows up, there should be a green button that says that you want one. You can click on that. So I don't think it worked. And it seems like this is completely broken. Sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't. JH says, no, I did opt in on another stream, but now I'm not getting the option to accept on this stream. But the thing is, so the other day, it was I Am Kazam who tried to do it, and it didn't work. Same thing's happening right now. It didn't work. But then the next day, someone gifted, and it worked fine. So I have no explanation as to how this works. I don't get it. There's nothing I can do about it, sadly. What I will say is thank you, Only Iced Coffee, for trying to support the channel, but essentially it doesn't seem like it's working. Tanya Raven says, I just opted in now. Clyde Baxter says, If there's not 5 people considered opted in at the time, no one will get them, I guess. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe now 5 people have opted in. Not Swaggin says, if the subs aren't gifted, do you still get the sub money? Doubtful. Why would I get it? If no one accepts it, why would I get it, right? It's just kind of lingering. And I get the feeling he's going to get either a refund or he won't get charged, right? Thank you, Nightblade Gaming, for becoming a member. It looks like you re-upped your membership here for 11 months. So I hope you and family are okay. Have a good stream. Thank you, Nightblade. Yeah, I don't think it worked. All I could really do here is I could check on total members. It definitely didn't work because it says we're at 517 members. We went down a member, so there's no way that the gifted memberships went through. Jade, I'm glad to hear that you're feeling better. I'm sorry to hear about that. We're at 517 now. So, all right. So anyway, guys, the nonsense continues with this gifted membership system. I don't know how it works. It looks like these did not go through. I apologize. If someone else tries to give memberships, I guess we'll see if it works. It just does not seem to me that it works very effectively or very well. The funny thing is we had 0 problems with this for many days. And then all of a sudden, it stopped working right. But then it started working again, and now it doesn't seem to be working right again. So I have no idea. And now I have to close the window. Okay. All right, guys. So let's get back to the subject at hand, the upcoming DSP Reacts event. Okay? So I wanted to change the date. Originally, I said, oh, we'll do it on Saturday, June 11th. I said, but wait, that doesn't make sense. The day before, there's 2 big new releases people want to see. So why am I going to delay those game playthroughs for this event? We need to either make the event later or earlier. And I was honestly set. I was going to delay it a week and make it kind of the 18th of June. But the good news here is that a fan who really wanted to help out with this project basically went through the John Rambo and Howard video and found as many frames of reference as possible as they could find that were public record, and not only provided them to me, but also created a whole backdrop and all kinds of stuff for this event. All right? So basically, this person did a lot of the legwork that I was going to have to do in order to get this event off the ground, which was what I was worried about. I was like, man, if I got to do all this behind the scenes work of getting all these things together and all of that, you know what I'm saying? I was nervous that it was going to take extra time. In reality, as of now, I could do this event tomorrow. I could literally do it tomorrow if I wanted, because I have everything. Pretty crazy. It went from, oh my God, this is going to be an undertaking that's going to take me weeks to work on, to, oh, the work's done. Here you go. Just do it whenever you're ready. I was like, holy shit. So obviously, this person knows who they are. Like I said, this person does not want to be involved in any kind of web drama. They don't want any credit because they're afraid of the web drama. All I want to say is to the person, thank you so very much, because you saved me a whole bunch of work and hassle to get the event ready. I want to do this right. If I'm going to do an event like this, 7 years in the making, and I also want to do it fairly, so that essentially all parties involved, I feel, are represented fairly, you have to have the frames of reference in there. It can't just be, oh, John said something, and Phil said something, and Howard said something, and there's literally no reference or collaboration or corroboration for any of it. Okay? However, I need to make something clear. All right? In this React event, I am not going to be revealing any personal info that people don't know. I'm not going to be betraying any trust. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example. All right? One of the major things that these guys bring up in this video is Project 7. The edited style, comedy skit / adventure, silly joke, B-movie style series, although I think it's more like a D-movie style series. It was not exactly very well acted. It was well produced by Respect the Pact, who put in all these effects and everything. It was the worst acted thing ever, okay? One of the big hot subjects of contention in that video is how Project 7 was handled, all right? and how basically people felt like they should have received monetary compensation for being involved in the project, and they did not. Or the compensation that they received they felt was not equivalent to what it should have been. We can talk about that when we get to the video. All right, but as a way to prepare for this event, I started doing research, and I found every single email I ever had correspondence with those guys on regarding the project. Okay? These emails are telling. Let's just put it that way in regards to what's said in the emails as opposed to what's said in the video. But I'm not going to bring these emails to the video and start posting them all over the screen, because those are private communications between me and those guys. There's a lot of actual like kind of small talk and shit in there too. That really doesn't have any point in the video. That would be kind of messed up. All I can do is I can paraphrase and summarize and give you points about what was said in those emails. I'm not going to be sitting here and saying, oh, look, here's the receipts. Here's a fucking whole email from these guys from 10 years ago with all their information in it. And now I'm not doing that. That's fucked up. That's seriously fucked up stuff. And I'm not doing that, okay? Some people would do that. I'm not. Listen, the whole point of this is to kind of go down memory lane and look at the things that I fucked up in my past and own up to them. Or, in the case where something is blatantly untrue or I feel was unfair, to address it in a manner that's very respectable. Not to sit here and be like, it's time for me to completely disprove everything about everything that these guys ever did. That's not the point here, okay? So, by the way, Swagonito just dropped a 5 membership bomb on the channel. Congratulations to Tanya Raven, Ulcerized Organs, Filthy 40 plus 20, and Dave Ramsey and Butters, who just received those gifted memberships. So, those gifted memberships worked. What that tells me essentially is that when Only Ice Coffee tried to gift them earlier, people must not have been opted in. There must not have been enough people opted in to accept, and therefore it got rejected. So, it looks like the rest will work now, because people have opted in as of today. That's a really shitty system. I hate to say it. It just is. That's a really shit system that sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. On Twitch, when you gift subs, they just work. This is really dumb that someone could come in here and be like, oh, I wanna drop a 20 sub bomb and help the channel. Oh, failure. And now people have to opt in, and then they have to do it again and again and again until it works. That's stupid. Anyway, congratulations to those of you who got the memberships. Thank you to Swagonito. I appreciate that very much. By the way, Daz Christopher, thank you also for becoming a member. Usually I do the shoutouts at the end, but I might as well just toss it out now. I will update the total members by the end of the pre-stream here today, okay? Okay, anyway. So, the good news here. There's twofold good news. Number one, someone has dramatically helped me to gather the information and or provide the stuff I need to do the DSP Reacts event, so that now there's not ridiculous amounts of time, work, and research needed to be done to do this event. That's number one. Number two, I have found a lot of corroborating information and or stuff that will help with this event, okay? So, that means I could do it right away. So, as of now, we are dropping everything I'm doing, and DSP Reacts happens right now on this stream. We're doing it all day today. It's all we're doing. I'm just kidding. No, that's not happening. That's ridiculous. The whole point is that we set a date so that people know that they can be there for the special event. This one, by the way, so to give you some perspective, okay, DSP Reacts to John and Howard's expose. I think that's what we should call it. Like, it's the expose. Like, basically, they were exposing the situation between me and them. So, DSP Reacts to the John and Howard expose. That's what I'm going to call this event. If you think that's stupid, let me know and we'll change the name. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. Okay? As of now, I'm going to schedule it for Saturday, June 4th. Okay? So if you do the math, all right, that's 1 week from this Saturday. Okay? Fair enough? 1 week from this coming Saturday. And I'm going to do it exactly like I've done to other events, where it's going to be an all-day event. I'm actually going to leave myself with the entirety of the day to do it. Why? You're like, Phil, you're reacting to one video. Why do you need all day long on a marathon event to do it? Because this video now, originally this video was around 90 minutes long, but adding in all of the corroborations, all of the frames of reference, and all the information that needs to be in it for it to make sense, the playtime is now 2 hours long without me reacting to it. Okay? So it's a 2-hour long video that I have to respond to. And the last time that I did that was to the Rings of Redemption video. His video was around 2 hours long, and that took me over 5 hours to react to. Okay? So I predict, especially with this particular video having things that have to do with me, and I'm going to be adding in so much information, this is likely going to take all day long to get through. Literally all day long. And dependent on how that goes, may take even longer than that. So I'm going to make that entire day open. June 4th, Saturday. It's going to basically be pre-stream, ordering food for a feasting with the king, react, take a break, have the meal, react until I'm exhausted. If we could finish it that day, great. But the thing is, if we're like 5-6 hours into the damn thing and we're only like an hour through the video, like, fuck this. I got, what am I going to do? So what I will also do is that weekend, I will also open up Sunday and make that time available. So if I need to have it spill over into another day, it will. Okay? I'm hoping it doesn't. What I'm hoping is that because the legwork has now been done to get all the frames of reference and all of the things into the video already, that this will be easy to do. You just press play, you watch, and it'll roll through, and then I could stop, comment, and it won't be something that'll take forever. Okay? But I basically just... I want to do it justice, and I feel like if it drags out, it's not going to do it justice. Like, when you have something like this that, by the way, I've said this over the years, and I'll say it again, it was probably one of the most hurtful things that's ever happened to me. It was completely unexpected that they were going to do it like that. But again, I don't want to jump the gun. We're going to talk about that when I react to the video. Like, that's one of the main points that I'll be making from my perspective, is that this thing completely surprised the shit out of me, okay? But we'll talk about that when I react to the video. Why talk about it now? But anyway, yeah, I want to give it time, and I want to make sure that I'm doing it right. I don't want to rush through it. I don't want to miss any important points. I don't want to feel like I'm not doing it, because I waited 7 years. I waited 7 fucking years. Today, my life today in 2022 is so ridiculously different from my life in 2015 when this video was released. The content I put out is different, right? The style, the way I distribute it, my entire life is different, right? I'm happily married. I have all this other stuff going on. I feel like I've changed for the better as a person, in many different ways since back then. I'm happy that people tell me on a daily basis they enjoy my content way more now, because I'm not that kind of negative, toxic jerk that I used to be back in the day for views. And I'm happy about that. I am. I'm happy that people, it's not just me saying it. People tell me that I've improved. That's a good thing to know, because I want to improve as a person over time. I feel like today I'm a lot more mellow of a person than I was back then, where it's like, oh, rage at everything. Rage. Now it's like, no, I'm a more mellow dude. I'm more laid back. Again, I want to make sure I'm doing this right, and I'm doing it respectfully, and I'm doing it justice. I waited 7 years, to do it. So now it's got to be done right. Okay? So, in summary, DSP reacts to the John and Rambo. I just cannot speak this morning. DSP reacts to the John and Howard expose. Is now scheduled for Saturday, June 4th, 1 week from this coming Saturday. It will be a marathon-style event, all right, where we'll do other things as well, including a pre-stream podcast. We'll order food. There'll be a feasting with the king. But the whole focus of the stream will be reacting to this event, because this now is 2 hours long, 2 hours of stuff that I need to react to. And what I really hope, honestly, about this has always been a thing that people keep bringing up over the years, all right? I hope this will finally put it to rest. Being honest, I really do. I hope that this would completely and utterly just end the issue. There's no more issue. There's no more. I would be happy if this was the end of the discussion, forever. You know? If this finally puts closure on this ongoing thing, I would love it. And the thing is, most of you today really don't care, because I've been putting out content for 7 years. For 7 years after this. As I've told you guys, I now have made more content living here in Washington State in this room than I ever made back in the day in Connecticut. I did from the years of 2008 to 2014. Those are the Connecticut years. It wasn't even 6 years of content. I've been making content here since 2014. It's now 2022. 8 years. I've now been doing it 2 more years here. So most people who know me from the content I've done now here than the content that I did back then. Okay? So that's what I mean. Like, most of you probably at this point don't even understand it. And if I didn't put in the frames of reference there that are being addressed in the video, you would have no clue. You would have no clue what's even being said or what's being referenced, and you would just be like, meh. Because here's what happened. When that video, when it came out, with 0 frames of reference put into it, instead it's just, oh, well, Phil said this, and I said this, and he said this, and this was said. When you just say that, people have to take it at face value that it's true, not actually knowing what was actually said, right? In a lot of cases, things are directly referenced there, and then when you put it in context, it comes off completely differently, all right? And that's the point of the doing this, is to try to clarify from both sides. You want to know the truth? Is that I don't think that they're in the wrong. I know that I did things that are wrong. I'm absolutely positively going to fess up to those things in the video. But I also think that some things in that were done as a hit piece. Just being honest, like there's things in there that are completely not false, but so taken out of context or only given from a certain spin or perspective that it doesn't make sense unless you see what actually happened. And it's easy to do the video and not show the truth and say this is what happened, which is what the whole video is, you see? It's frustrating because a lot of people see that video and they say, well, these were his longtime friends, and if they put this video out, it has to be true. Why else would they have put it out? But then if you actually watch the things they're saying in context, you're like, wait, what? This is what was said. Why did they say this? You see what I'm saying? So that's what I mean. And again, this is not a hit piece against them. I understand where they were coming from. I'm going to tell you, I completely kind of empathize with them because I now know what they were going through. I didn't know at the time. I now know what they were going through as a result of me and my antics and my jackassery on the internet, and the hatred that was being thrown towards me was deflecting in some cases off of me and being bounced towards peripheries, and they were in that line of fire. They were in that area where here comes drama, here comes hate, here comes bullshit that they didn't deserve, to the point where it got so much for them that they just had to do something. And I kind of get that. I do. Today I get that. Maybe back then I didn't. All right? But now I do. As I listen back to this video. It's not even a video. It's an audio recording. It'll be a video now. But, you know, I go back and I'm like, geez. I didn't really realize that shit. You know, I didn't. At that time, I was ignorant. I was stupid. I didn't realize that my actions and what I said and did concretely affected all these other people around me all the time. You know? And, you know, there's a lot of things that happened. I was insecure. I was upset. I didn't have thick skin in a lot of cases. And I would stupidly say shit and react to things in ways that were completely unfair and bullshit. Making stuff up. And I'm not proud of it. And it's time to finally fess up to it. You know? And I will. But at the same time, again, I have to say there is shit in that video that is completely misrepresented. And in some cases, there's stuff in that video that has no reason to be in it. Because it has nothing to do with anything. But you'll see when we get to this, okay? Anyway. All this being said, June 4th, Saturday, is when this is scheduled for. And I'll let you know if anything changes. But that's what I'm doing. I'm basically scheduling it so that I have the entirety of that day. And then if I need even extra time after that, I can go into Sunday too. I hope not. I hope that we can get it all done in one sitting. But it will be one of the best produced pieces of content I've ever put out for the internet. Thanks to this fan who has helped me out dramatically. I don't have to do a lot of the legwork now. And I'm now able to sit down and react and not have to do weeks of research and editing, and you know, it's just kind of, okay, great, everything's there now for me, okay? So, that's the deal, okay? DSP reacts to the John and Howard expose June 4th. As of now, unless something changes, but that's what we're setting it for. Now, I know that's a date change, so I wanted to announce that this morning, okay? All right. Outside of that, I have 3 news stories to cover today, so let's get into them. News story number 1. As you guys know, in June, Sony is going to be changing the PlayStation Plus program. In fact, in Asia, the changes have already taken place. What's happening is there's no more PS Plus and PS Now. They are merging the services to be one super service. And depending on the tier level that you subscribe to every month, you'll either just get online access to playing games multiplayer, or you'll get some free games every month, or you'll get access to a certain catalog of games, or if you get a premium program, now you'll get access to a ton more games on top of that. Basically, it's this tiered system of content access, okay? I gotta open the window again. It's too hot in here. Ugh, god damn it. Well, when this new system or service, by the way, thank you Raging Reality for an ultra membership. Thank you so much for the support. When this new system was announced, okay, what happened was some people thought, oh, we're going to try to game the system, okay? So what they did is they went out and found ways to subscribe to the existing version of PlayStation Plus on the cheap. Sometimes you can find, excuse me, extremely discounted ways to buy these online memberships. Maybe there's a liquidation at a store that had the physical membership cards and they're only like $5 when originally they were $60. Maybe there's a way that you find online to stack digital memberships. Basically, people found ways. They said, if this is going to be more expensive, this new service, we're going to find a way to basically get it on the cheap. Let's stack our existing service in the hopes that when they upgrade the service, they're just going to roll you over into the new service. Okay? So, what happened? Some people went out there and bought a year, 2 year, 5 years. Someone actually bought 20 years of PlayStation Plus in the hopes that it would roll over to the new service and they would not have to spend any extra money. Now, some people felt maybe they're not going to get away with just getting a free upgrade, but maybe they'll prorate it. So maybe if you paid for 20 years of service, they'll prorate it and say, well, technically 20 years of service equivalent to this amount of dollars if you paid full price, and therefore we'll apply that amount of dollars to the new service. So you're not getting 20 years, you'll get 5 years of the new service. That's what a lot of people were hoping for, okay? Well, the new PS Plus service just launched in Asia, and some people have been completely destroyed because Sony is not doing that at all. Sony is of the opinion that if you want the new service, you will pay for the new service with an upgrade fee. And if you don't pay that upgrade fee, you can never access the new service on your current PlayStation account. So, for example, I bought 20 years of PlayStation Plus at the base level. Guess what? He now has 20 years of PlayStation Plus at the base level. And if he wants to upgrade to the new service, he has to pay, not for 1 year, for 20 years of service of the new PlayStation Plus in one lump sum. So if he wants to get the new PlayStation Plus, he has to pay $1,000. Ooh, oopsie. Hope you didn't want access to all those games. Now, obviously, I don't think Sony was expecting this kind of thing to happen because that doesn't make any sense. Obviously, you should be able to upgrade on a month-to-month basis, not a lump sum. If I've pre-purchased 2 years of PlayStation Plus, why are you requiring me to pay for 2 years of the upgraded service to get it now? That doesn't even make sense, right? So I get the feeling that what will happen is it will be eventually fixed, and this was just something that Sony didn't plan on happening. But it stands to reason that basically people went out of their way to try to not cheat, but it is a game. It's basically how do I find a loophole, right? What's the loophole that I can take advantage of? Well, traditionally you can find ways to buy these subscriptions cheap. Let me just buy a ton of them and hopefully it'll stack or prorate. Sony's like, nope, we refuse. If you want the new PlayStation Plus service on day one, you're paying us no matter what. So I really get the feeling they will fix this issue. It's not going to be, oh, you have to pay for years in advance. But they're going to be like, well, you want it? Pay for it. Give us the money now. You're not going to get it. So even though people bought all this PS Plus, it basically didn't do them any good. If they want the new service, they still have to pay for it. People actually in Stream Chat are saying they did fix it today. Oh, okay, so there you go. You don't have to pay for the years of service in one go. It didn't make any sense that that was the case to begin with. So that's good. But a lot of people are up in arms about this. Oh, this is so anti-consumer that Sony would demand that we have to pay for their upgraded service. If I already have several years of PS Plus pre-purchased, right, then how dare they tell me I need to pay more money now? And it's like, but the service they're providing you isn't equivalent to the service you purchased. You understand that? Like, you didn't buy the PlayStation Plus membership. You bought the old PlayStation Plus membership, which is changing. This is the equivalent of if you... Here's where I feel people could make an argument. If you already owned a PlayStation Plus membership and you already owned a PlayStation Now membership, you own both services separately pre-owned, and now they're forcing you to pay more money for the upgrade, then I could say, okay, I see your point. But that's not the case. These are people who basically just bought a PlayStation Plus base membership and want the free upgrade without having to pay for it. So the way I see it is Sony is doing this because they need to bring in new subscribers and have a new revenue stream. They realize that the PlayStation Now service does not bring in significant revenue for them. They want to get a big increase in revenue. How do you do that if people game the system and aren't paying for the new service, right? So I kind of understand that Sony, why they're doing it. Is it scummy? I think that's a more subjective answer. I can see it from both sides, like value added versus business. Value added to the customer, I mean, take a look at all the value you get on Game Pass, right? And by the way, when Game Pass was created, people found ways to get crazy discounted Game Pass for years and years and years. Some people got 5+ years of it for very cheap. And did Xbox or Microsoft suddenly say, oh, no, we're not allowing that? Nope, they just allowed it. They said, fuck it, whatever. We know what's going to happen. People are going to like Game Pass so much, via word of mouth, they're going to talk about how good it is, and that's just going to get more people to subscribe to it. So why are we going to shut down people who got it at a discount? Sony's in a different situation. This is basically revenue raising for them. The reason they're doing this program is because they want more sources of income. And so by creating this program, they're feeling this will be an ongoing subscription source of income they can count on. Why are they going to allow people to basically rip them off and get it on the cheap when they need... I mean, that's the whole purpose. Why do you really think, honestly, do you really think that they're launching this service for any reason other than business and making money? I mean, let's be honest. We just want to do what's right and give value added to our customer. I mean, maybe that's the case, but they want to make a buck doing it. So when you try to find a way around them making a buck doing it, obviously there's going to be an issue, you know? So I can kind of see it from both perspectives. Does it suck that people who tried to game the system and get ahead can't? Yes. Is it anti-consumer that Sony shuts those people down? Yes, it is. However, Sony is not making this as a consumer service. They're saying, hey, we're providing a service. If you want it, pay for it. We need the revenue stream. That's why we're doing it to begin with. Stop trying to rip us off. You see? Okay. That's number one. Number two, news story. We have a release date for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. It's October 28th, and the giant marketing blitz campaign has begun. Now they're advertising it everywhere, and it's funny because they're advertising the shit out of it, yet there's no gameplay. Like, it's not out yet. There's no beta. There's no alpha. They're just starting to announce it, and they really want people to buy it because, man, Vanguard didn't sell as well as they wanted it to, and they really need to come back from that. So it's October 28th. I will now add that to my release schedule here so I know when it is, okay? I can't type on this fucking thing. I never could. I might have to get a bigger phone, seriously. Like, I just can't type on a fucking cell phone with my thumbs. I have really wide thumbs. I don't know if you could tell in a video, but I have very wide thumbs compared to most people. And whenever I try to type on a phone, I always get the wrong letters and shit. I'm actually debating if I get my next phone, which I can't get for a while. I'm waiting for the upgrade or whatever, but when I get my next phone, I might get a bigger one. Because this thing, not that I want the bigger phone or the bigger screen, but I can't type on the fucking thing with these goddamn Italian thumbs. But anyway, yeah. So Modern Warfare 2 is coming out in October. Am I playing it? I don't know. I'm going to do exactly what I did last year. I'm going to wait for a beta or an alpha or whatever it is to come out, probably in the summer. I'm going to play it and judge on that. I did not like Modern Warfare 1 a couple years ago. I thought it sucked ass. I bought it anyway, and I regretted buying it because it sucked ass. I really hated that game. So if it's the same, I might not get this one either. But we'll see, okay? Okay. The last story I'm covering today is a fucking weird one, but I think we all knew something like this was coming. It's regarding NFTs. Who out there knows who Seth Green is? I do. He's an actor from a lot of stuff in the 1990s and early 2000s. Notably, he was on, he was in the Austin Powers movies. He's a comedic actor. But in the 2000s, he started producing a show for Cartoon Network and Adult Swim called Robot Chicken. It's a stop-motion comedy show that's very entertaining. It parodies pop culture, among many other things. He's made a lot of money with this series, okay? He has. It's been very popular. And he's gone on to do other things as well behind the situations and all of that, okay? Family Guy. We're talking about Seth Green. You guys are thinking Seth MacFarlane. I'm talking about Seth Green. You guys are getting it confused. Seth MacFarlane is Family Guy. He runs it. Seth Green is an actor and producer. Oh, Seth Green is the voice of Chris in Family Guy. Gotcha. Oh, people weren't saying he was responsible for Family Guy. People were saying he's a voice on Family Guy. Okay, I got confused. Yes, he is a voice on Family Guy as well. Okay. So anyway, the reason I'm talking about him today is because in the last year, NFTs have been a really hot topic all over the internet. And we've been talking about how NFTs are non-fungifuckable tokens, or whatever the fuck it stands for, are pretty much a scam. It's supposed to be a piece of art or an in-game item, whatever the fuck it may be, something digital that has some kind of an ever-generating code that basically means that if you own that item, you're the only person with access to that ever-generating key or code that proves that you own it, okay? So apparently Seth Green bought a bunch of NFTs and was actually going to make a television show based on NFTs. Now, some might say that's stupid, but I don't think that he's doing this as something super serious. Take a look at Robot Chicken, you know, it's a comedy show. I think what he was doing is he was essentially trying to do the first of something and basically make fun of it. Like maybe in this show, he would literally make fun of NFTs constantly or something, right? Like I feel like that would have been what the show would have been, okay? So anyway, he had a bunch of NFTs he owned and he's actually making a show. The show's done. The show's ready to be released, and it was in production where they were planning on its release and how it was going to go on television and everything. He got scammed. Somehow someone scammed him, and no one really knows how. He just says it was a phishing scam. Someone stole his NFTs and listed them for resale on the internet, and someone bought one of them and now owns his NFT, even though technically, because it was stolen through a phishing scam, this person doesn't own it. But they do, because they have that code or that calculation that makes it unique and means that they really technically legally have it or control it. He has it. This person has it. So Seth Green starts posting a few days ago on the internet, just so you guys know, I was phished, and you knew that stories like this were going to come out, but I basically had all my NFTs stolen, and I need to get them back for this show, and I know who owns it, because he actually has the guy's Twitter handle and everything, and he's basically trying to make it a public case, because he's like, listen, here's the deal. We have the evidence that these things were stolen through a phishing scam. Anyone who resold them broke the law. If you bought it through that resale, you broke the law. even if it was unbeknownst to everyone, you also broke the law. Now, not to say that you're going to be held legally accountable, but there's no way that in a court of law that they're going to say you own it. So there's one of two ways we can go about this. Either contact me and I'll pay you for my content back. Like he actually said, I will pay you to get my NFT back, even though I shouldn't have to legally do that. I understand this is a unique situation, and obviously I want you to be compensated fairly. I'll pay you for it to get it back so I can make my show. Or if you choose not to do that, I will sue you. But I don't want to go through years of court suing someone and have my show held up for years and years because someone's phished me or a phishing scam or whatever, okay? So essentially what we have is NFTs that really at their core are kind of money-making schemes and scams, right? That became another scam because of a phishing scam. So we have a scam based on a scam. Scamception. That should be what they call this thing, scamception. It's ridiculous. It's like, how the hell did it get to this level already? Like, most people hate NFTs. Most people don't want to talk about them. We want to pretend like they don't exist. We've been ignoring them. And by the way, the NFT market crashed. There was a time last year when they were selling for top dollar, and then all of a sudden they went down to value, just like Bitcoin and other these digital currencies, just like all of that just recently crashed. The same thing happened with the NFT market, where they're worth nearly nothing now. So the whole thing was a joke. The whole thing was so stupid. And the fact that this was a situation where Seth Green's like, I got to strike when the iron is hot, right? What I have to do is I have to buy NFTs, make a show with them, and put it out now, because within a year, NFTs might not exist anymore. No one will care about them. He needs to do it right now, okay? And now he's in a situation where he's stuck, and he can't, because if he puts out this show with the character and someone else technically owns the rights, they could file an injunction against him. And then he has to go to court to work it out, and now it's a major mess. I don't see the value for NFTs either, Tyler. In my opinion, NFTs are money-making schemes. NFTs are a way for a company to milk you for more money because they didn't find a way to have a valuable revenue stream out of what they've already made, whatever product, whatever show, whatever game, whatever it may be. They didn't find a way to make it profitable enough, so they have to try to milk the customer for extra money, but pretend like it's going to be a value added for them. Already we've had a case where it wasn't. Do you remember that Splinter Cell game last year that had the case of the first NFTs, right, in them? And you know, Ubisoft came out and they were like, oh, buy these NFTs in the Splinter Cell game. They're going to be so valuable. And what's going to happen is over time, the value will rise. It's an investment. Not only is it a game for you, it's an investment where you can resell it. The game already announced, well, all the game's done. No more production on the game. The NFTs are worthless. Oh, well. And that was just the first example of it being a scam. So, yeah, literally there's absolutely nothing going on here positive with NFTs. The circus continues, and this is just an interesting story where a scam within a scam, and now Seth Green is kind of got his balls over the fire here and got his whole production held up because of this online scammer. I'm very curious how the hell that he got phished. I'm very curious about this. Okay, it's time for shout-outs. So, shout out to TX Shooter 50 who did a super chat saying, have you heard of a band Overkill? The vocalist is weird but still a great band. I have never heard of it. Don't even know what that is. Overkill? No. Thank you for the super chat. Tanya Raven did a super chat. Says, just play what you want and be happy as long as it's a great stream for you in chat. That's all that matters. Yes and no. It doesn't matter for the quality of stream and enjoyment. Yes. Does it matter for me making a living and paying my bills? No. Sorry. I really wish that were the reality. That's not reality. In reality, this is my hobby and it's my business. If I just sit here and just play stuff that I like all day and I never venture out and I never diversify and I never do things that people want to see me do, I won't make a living doing it. Right now, I would like nothing more than to do a second summer of retro where all I play Zelda, Mario, Earthbound, Chrono Trigger, maybe go back to the past of like Dreamcast or PS1 era, play games from there, some NES games, Ninja Gaiden, play classics, right? And what will happen is all of my content will flop. I will not make enough to make a living anymore, and I will go out of business. That's just the reality of it. And there's not much I can do about that. That's, you know, that's what I do is I take on the responsibility of being a content creator as well as a business owner. I understand that. that I'm not always going to be able to do everything that I want to do 100% of the time. I have to work with you guys in order to make sure that what I'm doing is in line with what you want to see and that's something you'll support, you know? I have to do that. It's about a balance, and it's about variety, right? I learned my lesson when I did the Summer of Retro 2013 with the backlash that I got. So now, can I play retro games? Yes, I'm playing Zelda right now, but I balance that with other stuff so it's not all retro shit, you see? My mantra and my way of thinking has been, since I became a full-time streamer, as long as I'm having fun and you're having fun and there's a good time to be had, then the support will come. Yes and no. I would say about 75 to 80% of the time that's true, but sometimes there's just stuff, we're all having a good time and there's no support or low support. And it's like, there's nothing I can do about that. I'm a crowd-funded individual. People have to willingly decide whether or not they feel that investing in a piece of content is worth their time and money, keeping it going. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing I can do about that. That's just the nature of the beast, okay? I don't have sponsorships or partnerships. As I told you guys many times over the years, that's on purpose. So that way, I don't have to answer to anyone else. I could do the content that I want. At the same time, I have to put out content you guys like, you know? So there is definitely a mix there, all right? And what I will say is, thank you to those who see when I truly am enjoying a project or having a good time with something and support it. Today with WWE, I've been a lifelong fan of wrestling. It's fun to play a wrestling game for me. It just genuinely is. Having fun with the names of the moves, slamming them with this special attack out of nowhere, reversal. Oh, God, here we go. You know, I like that. It gets my adrenaline pumping. It gets me excited. Thanks for supporting WWE. I'm not making nothing on the YouTube videos that are getting claimed, but thank you for supporting the streams because it allows me to continue to enjoy what I love. I love Link to the Past, one of my favorite games of all time. Not going to bring in 1,000, 2,000 viewers on a stream, but thank you to those who are showing up and supporting it. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. Shout out to Quad, who upped his membership for 2 months, said hi. Thank you, Quad. Shout out to Nightblade Gaming, who re-upped his membership for 11 months, says, I hope your family and you are okay. Have a good stream. Thank you. We are. Daz Christopher became a member this morning. Thank you, Daz Christopher. Swaggo Nito gifted those 5 memberships earlier. Congrats to those who got them. True Freeman became a standard supporter. Thank you for that. Raging Reality became an ultra supporter today. Thank you for that. Mango Jewel Pods did a super chat. What's your craziest memory from high school? I don't have time to go into that this morning. Raging Reality did a super chat. This is first time supporter. How do you feel about trying to play Mario Kart 8 plus DLC with viewers? I want to see what you thought about that. I don't know anything about that. I actually don't know when the DLC releases, if it even did. I don't own Mario Kart 8 on the Switch. I'll be honest with you. I don't really feel like rebuying it because I owned it on the Wii U. And I don't think that rebuying the game on the Switch makes sense when I already know what the game is. Nor do I feel like I want to rebuy the game just to play DLC maps. If it were a totally new Mario Kart, then I'd probably be way more for it. But honestly, I just see this a way for Nintendo to make a buck and extend the life of a game that essentially has been dead for many years. It's not like this is Mario Kart 9. This is Mario Kart 8 again. And it's kind of fucking annoying that they did that because I wanted Mario Kart 9. So at this point, I don't think that I'll be actually spending any time or money on Mario Kart 8 again, just being honest. Okay, so now I'm just curious how many members we have, and then we'll get to tips, of which there pretty much are almost none, so that shouldn't take too long. Excuse me. Okay. It's funny, even with my allergy medication, it's still kind of affecting me. 524. We're currently at 524 members. By the way, I have no idea why you guys are tagging me with questions. We're not doing Q&A. People are tagging me with 100 questions in the chat as if I'm going to drop everything and answer. When we're not doing Q&A, I'm doing shout-outs, and then we're out of time. I don't get it. Okay. So, tips. We start off with Slayer, who tipped $1.50 overnight, and says, he was trying to clarify something. I guess he had made a comment on a video regarding ethical advertisements, and the example he gave was a fact channel YouTuber does advertisements appropriately. Oh, okay. Here's the thing. To me, all right, if you're going to advertise something in your content, fine. But do it in a way that's unintrusive. Do it in a way that doesn't negatively affect your content or spin your content in some kind of a dishonest manner. And don't do it too often. If you run a podcast and you have a 5-minute segment at the beginning of every single podcast where you run through ads. Oh, please support us with this way, or this way. And then the meat of your podcast is content. Great, do it. But if you start your podcast and 1/3 of your fucking screen is ads, literally, that's you're not doing a podcast, you're doing an ad. Your whole podcast is a fucking ad. If you're supposed to be doing a heartfelt video about someone who used to be your friend and you're crying in the video, and above you there's Minecraft footage and Minecraft ads, you are not making a heartfelt video about your friend, you're making a Minecraft ad. That's my opinion, okay? There's ways to do things that are respectable to an audience and to the content you're supposedly making, and there's ways to show that you just care about the money, all right? What Slayer is addressing is, I talked last week about how I ran a post on social media from Maximilian Dude that was about the upcoming Multiverses game that he'd been selected to get the beta for it, and he was playing it, and he made a post on Twitter about it, and I was like, oh, this is interesting. I'd be interested in finding out about the game, and it said hashtag ad in it, and immediately when I saw hashtag ad, I knew I really couldn't trust that post being genuine, and I was actually turned off because Maximilian Dude is someone who I know makes really great content for the internet and cares about the quality of the content he puts out, and it actually disappointed me to see that he was taking a paid ad campaign where literally you don't know if that's truthful what he's saying in the video or not, or if he has to be selective on what he says. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. The thing is, it doesn't matter. It says hashtag ad in it. I know it's an ad, you see? And that's a slippery slope, because for me, I don't want to be involved in shit like that. I feel like every time I put out a piece of content, I want it to be truthful, and I want you to know exactly what is going on in my content, and what I'm saying is something that I feel is true or is really an opinion I'm giving you and not just a paid shill thing. And if every single piece of content I put out said hashtag ad after it, you wouldn't know that, right? So, yeah, I'm sorry, but I just don't like it. And you can disagree, and you can say, oh, it's perfectly fine for a content creator to have that stuff in their videos. Fine, that's your opinion. I hate it. You know? There's already mediums for this shit. Like, I already watch television, and I have to see 1 million ads on a TV show. When I open my browser for YouTube, I don't have to see 100 ads at a content creator's content. And the other thing is, I hate to say it, a lot of the people who take on these ads already have giant viewership and already, you know, are making good money. So this is just another piece of income added to their ridiculous amount of income they're already making for making internet videos. Is it really necessary for you to be doing paid advertisement campaigns when you're already rolling in dough? But these are the people who get the opportunities. You see? I'm not jealous of the opportunity. I don't want them. I get offered them and I turn them down. But if you're already big, then why are you then taking more money on top of that? And now, like, how do you even trust the content? Again, this is my methodology. This is my way of thinking. And you can disagree. And that's okay if you do. But to me, it bothers me. It does. It pisses me off. Okay? Slayer tipped another $1.50. So I want to ask if you did manage to contact the other YouTuber regarding reacting to his videos. So there's a YouTuber who I watched some of his content, which was really interesting. I have sent him a message requesting permission to react to his content. I have not heard back yet. Then again, from what I can tell, this guy doesn't really even use his Twitter that often. There's a possibility that he's probably not even seeing my message, and may respond or may not respond. We'll see. Snow Carl to the $1.50 says, do you think NFTs are a way for fans to support certain kinds of content and creators? Like, if I like your content, I'll subscribe and get a nice crown after a while, but then I buy Seth's NFT, I support his character in Mass Effect. That's not even how NFTs work, Snow Carl. I don't think you understand the concept of an NFT. You can't buy someone's NFTs to support them. That's not how it works. And the crowns in the chat are not NFTs. Okay. Anyway, guys, I'm now going along on the pre-stream, which I knew I would, because we had so many things here. Oh, wait. Was there something else, too? Mango Jewel Pods is angry because he does a super chat, and he says, why won't you just drop everything to tell me a story from high school? Because this is not Ask the King. This is a pre-stream podcast. And if I have time to do Q&A, I'll do it. This is why I tell you guys, if you actually want me to give you a detailed, honest, long answer, to save it for my Ask the King show. Because then I have time to actually do it. This is not Q&A show. This is the pre-stream podcast. And I can talk about it as much as I want. Right? He says, you talked about BS Seth Green NFT stories for 15 minutes, but you won't tell a quick story for me, even though I've given you super chat money in the past week. Yes, I will talk about the new stories I want. I do not have any commitment to giving you any kind of a detailed answer about anything. That's exactly how this show works and always has worked. If there was time to do Q&A today, I would have done it. But we went long on other topics. And that's okay. Eventually, we'll swing back. Eventually, we'll swing back. And we'll get to these topics. All right? But as of now, no, I have no desire to turn this into Ask the King, where I give you a detailed answer about something that happened in high school. All right? You're in the wrong spot. Okay. Let us get set here and let's do WWE. All right? Now, again, one thing I need to reiterate. I'm continuing on with the WWE 2K22 My Rise playthrough at great risk. I don't know what's going to happen on YouTube. These videos could be claimed. These videos could be blocked. As of now, thankfully, there's been absolutely no issues with copyright. There may be. I don't think there will be at this point. It would have happened already. But it is what it is. I'm going to continue playing it because you guys want it. But please support it. If you continue to support the playthrough, then I'll continue to take the risk. But I need people to support it. Okay? Fair enough? All right. Let's end the pre-stream and get started. All right. Thanks, guys, for watching.